Hey everybody, I'm Blaine with Flat Broke Outdoors. Today what I have here is a water purifier by the company Itehil. Now this has the potential to be a game changer for camping, the people that are in the nomad community, because what this is a battery operated water purifier. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the box. Now I did cheat when I first got this. I've had it a few days. I did take it out of the box and charge it. It's a very small unit. It only weighs 13 pounds. It doesn't even feel like 13 pounds. It's very, very small. It does come with a very robust charging cable. It's USB-C, I guess, but it's very heavy-duty charging cable. Inside the accessories box, what we have a bag full of the hoses that we need. This is the inlet hose for the water, and it has a filter you just put right down in the water, and then this connects to the other side, and your drinking water comes out one side and the wastewater comes out the other. So set them aside. You've got excuse me, a reverse osmosis filter and a hybrid charcoal filter. I believe that's what this is. All right, so on the back here, if you can see this, this is where the inlet hose goes. It has a connection. You just screw it in right there. So we'll cap that off. And on the front here, this unit connects to here. Just snaps in like that. And then, like I said before, it's very plainly marked how to set all this up. There's no guessing about it. So we're going to swing this around, open the lid. Now, there's a spot for each filter up top here, and they're both very plainly marked. So we're going to open these filters. Get my trusty old buck pocket knife here. We can get into these filters without making a mess. All right, so what we have here is the RO filter. So we look up here and find the spot for the RO filter. And it's very plainly marked on top of the filter and also on top of the machine how to open it and close it. So we'll push down on it, turn it. I wasn't pushing down far enough. There we go. Turn it till it locks. So we'll open the hybrid filter. Push way down on it. And turn it till it locks. And it does have a wrench to do that with. So if you saw me struggling, I wasn't using the wrench. So one thing I did notice that when I first started charging, it took about 6 hours to charge this thing. So that's kind of a lengthy charge time, if you ask me. right, so it does come with the user's manual, and it's in many, many different languages. But luckily for me, the first one is English. And it explains everything in here that you can physically see how to do here. They leave nothing to chance. I mean, everything is so clearly marked. It's very user friendly. Now this is where you plug your charger in, and it has a light to tell you when it's charging, and then it'll give you a blinking light as it's charging, and then when it's done, it'll be a solid light, solid red light. Put that back. It has an on-off switch, and when your filters are ready to be replaced, it has a light that'll come on to tell you. It'll tell you when the reverse osmosis filter needs to be replaced, and there's another light for the hybrid filter. Now this pumps, I think, 250 milliliters per minute of clean water. So very, very cool. And this, like I said, it's got a Type-C charging port, has the lights for the filters when they're ready to be changed. This explains everything in detail where you can't make any mistakes. So simple, which is what I need. I need it to be simple, and this is. And it does say the water flow is 250 milliliters per minute. Voltage is 5 to 30 volts. Rated power is 45 watts max. It just gives you the weight. I mean, it's just very straightforward. Let's see. Here it talks about the filter function and how long it lasts. The hybrid filters has activated carbon in it, and that's what it does. It says effectively filter water, sediment, rust, suspended matter, and other large particles. Filter water, organic matter, residual chlorine, and improve the taste and odor removal. The reverse osmosis filter says this system effectively removes contaminants like fluoride, limescale, heavy metals, up to the standard of drinking water. So I brought with me a parts per million meter, and we're going to take this down to the river, which is right there, and we're going to test it. We'll test the river water first with the meter, and then we'll run some clean drinking water through this, and we'll test that also. So y'all hang tight, and I'll get all this moved down to the river. All right, everybody, we've made it down to the river. We've got everything here. Now the manual says when you do the initial startup on this to run it for 10 minutes to flush the filters, and I've done that. So I'm going to scoop up a little river water in this jar and test it with my parts per million tester just to see what it's at. You know, it is this mountain river water, so it's probably pretty clean. All right, kids, so it's at 76 parts per million. Get rid of that. We're going to use a separate jar for the clean water side of this. Oops. All right, so these hoses do have on the clean water side, it has a white, almost little piece of plastic in the end of it, so you can tell that that's the one that's set up for the drinking water. And plus, it's also marked. So I'm going to turn the machine on. We'll run the wastewater into this jar and the clean water into this jar over here. It just takes a minute for the reverse osmosis water to come out. Here we go. All right, so I've turned it off. Let me wrap these hoses up right quick so they're not laying down in the drink. All right, first we're going to test the wastewater. It is at 91 parts per million. Now we're going to test on the clean side. It took it down to 5 parts per million. I would say that is a huge difference from 76. So I feel confident in drinking it. There's no odor to it whatsoever. Tastes like fresh bottled water to me. It's good stuff. So at this point, with this just being my first time using it and seeing the readings on this, I would say it's a 2 thumbs up for right now. I'm going to put it through its paces and actually get some dirtier water than mountain river water, but I think it turned out really good. All right, everybody, I'm back up from the river, and as we were coming up the hill from the river, my wife said, why don't we test the bottled water that we have in the truck with that? So I did. It's Ozarka water I bought it at Walmart. I put some in this clean jar, and it's at 27 parts per million, which is way worse than what the river water was after I ran it through the Itehil. So I would say at this point, I'm going to continue to use it. Actually, when I get home, I'm probably going to test our city water. But at any rate, I think the EPA standards, anything like 100 parts per million and below, is the EPA standard. So when I tested the wastewater that was coming out the wastewater side, I think it was at 96, I believe. So even that can be used for washing dishes, washing your hands, wash clothes, things of that nature. I don't know that I would drink it, but it's lower than some people's city water, even coming out the wastewater side. So like I said, if you live in a rural community like I do, where every time it storms, the power goes out, and sometimes the water goes off. They break a lot of water mains. In the wintertime, you don't know whether they're going to break a water main or not. So we have boil orders all the time. So having a system like this in place could certainly be a huge advantage. Huge advantage. So I guess having only used it the one time, and the ease of setup was super easy. It's a very light unit. Like I said, it's battery operated. I took it right down into the river and used it. So it's very user friendly. I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up. And like I said, I'm going to have it around. So I will do some future testing with it and let y'all know what my long-term thoughts are on it. But right now, I think it's a really good unit. So thanks for watching.